Thank you for your interest in my one-day workshop, How to Create Competition-Winning Images. The workshop follows my workflow from start to finish, visualizing and planning a shoot, sorting out the subsequent images that are produced, then processing them and finally outputting them. The workshop takes place over one day, starting at 9:30, finishing at 4 p.m. And we'll cover these sections in detail, some of the sections in more details than others. And we'll look at the software I use at each stage of the workflow to get the desired results. And this is the way we'll cover it in the sections. Section 1 builds on my lecture, A Project-Based Approach to Photography. And then sections 2 and 3 are all about how I sort out the images once I've got them. An element of my workflow is to shoot lots of images, so I need a way of sorting and cataloguing them. And then we'll move on to the processing sections using Photoshop and various plugins. And finally, outputting either as PDIs or as prints. Now, it's quite obvious that to cover the whole workflow in one day is a massive task, particularly when people are going to come with varying levels of knowledge on the software used. Some people don't even use Lightroom. So the whole workshop is backed up by 22 videos, which you can see on the screen now, which total over 5.5 hours worth of training. So every section in the workshop is backed up by this video, and these videos are yours to take away. You get a USB stick to take away, and on there will be these videos plus all the slides from the workshop plus some additional material. And the idea is that if there's a section in the workshop that you don't quite follow on the day, then you've got all this material to look at home in your own time. And of course some of the sections we can't cover in great detail, there just wouldn't be time. And particularly, as I say, given that different people will come with different levels of knowledge. So some of the sections on the workshop will be covered quite quickly, but you've always got this video material which covers it absolutely in detail, the whole details of my workflow, to look through when you get home. And this would be an example. Here's the introduction video, which is only 4 minutes long, and for each video you get a slide like this and it tells you the various sections in the video if you want to quick forward to various sections of interest. So the day would progress like this: the first session, shooting for impact, then Lightroom and its role in my workflow, then over to Photoshop, the tools to get the job done, and initial Photoshop steps. That'll take us up to coffee, and then when we come back we'll actually start in Photoshop proper. And I don't have a silver bullet in my workflow, but if there is one step that I think is absolutely vital to producing images with impact, which I think is critical if you want to have a good competition image, then it's this step, the vital Photoshop step of isolating the subject. Then we'll do some workup of the first, the insect image here. And that'll take us up to lunch. And when we come back, the afternoon session, we'll do 2 workups, a boxing image and a composite sports image, which is a squash image. Break for coffee. We'll come back, then we'll cover the final actual section, which is outputting images for either print or for PDI projections. And then we'll finish up with, I'll take you through a complete project, which is the project that resulted in this shot you see here, the Highboard Diver. And I'll take you through from initial concept right the way through to gaining permission at the sports centre to get permission to put flash on the high board to shoot these divers, and then processing the image. Here's a few excerpts from a couple of the videos then, just to give you an idea of what you'll get. Through my procedure for every image as I get ready to send it to Photoshop, or indeed just finish it off in Lightroom. So first, down this side you'll see is a whole series of sections for helping you transform the image. You can actually alter the order of these, and I've put them in the order at which I tend to work down them. All right, you can move them about, very easy, drag and drop them. And the first one is lens corrections, and I always go in here. So I've decided if I switch all these on, actually, be the easiest way. Here's the front player. and that was taken from what I'll have done here is this master shot here. Then you can see it's that lady there. I'll have done basic Lightroom adjustments and then cut her out, and then I bring her in and she's here. But the first thing I did before I actually brought her in, look, is I put her shadow down, okay? Because clearly I'm gonna stick her into this image, and she's not going to have a shadow, and that is a dead giveaway of a composite. Shadows are absolutely critical to the believability of a composite. How do I do the shadow? Well, I'll tell you exactly how I do it. This is the final slide from the workshop day, and it really encapsulates everything that we'll cover. I hope that this little taster video has given you an idea of what to expect, and I genuinely hope to see you on one of the workshops soon.